a Gundam style, everybody, and welcome back to Wow Cool Robot, a podcast about Gundam. I'm Max, I use he, him pronouns, and with me today is...
I'm Phoenix, I use they, them pronouns.
And we're back in space. I'm taking business trips back and forth every single week to record. I spend a week on fake Earth for Build Fighters, and I go back and I spend a week in space, I guess, probably still around Earth, for G-Witch, because we're at Astacassia again. This is just like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
I can't believe that is particularly good for your carbon footprint.
It's the future. It's fine. I use fucking Count Dooku Solar Sailor. 0 emissions.
Okay.
The solar winds push me by. But we're here to talk about more G-Witch, a show that continues to be really, really, really good. I'm still, absolutely loving it.
Like a roller coaster ride. Like, I have to say, for, my notes for, the past, 2 episodes of my show, even though, I'm using just, a fairly, regular size notebook, it's always, I always end up making them take 10 pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to be, it's good to be thorough.
I have to get all of this down. It's just so good. Also it's very special episode. I think this one might be going up Halloween.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything for Halloween, so I won't have any other excuse.
It's I guess it's this is our special scary. We should try to make this our special scary spooky one. We already have witches here. This is the Wow Cool Robot Halloween special.
Whoa. I will be reading my summary in a Dracula voice.
Okay, I am very... Okay, you kind of stole my idea for that. But...
Hey, okay, you read yours in a Dracula voice.
Okay.
This is episode, 4. Unseen Trap.
Suletta quickly refuses Ghoul's proposal, resulting in him becoming a laughingstock at school. As agreed, he does apologize to Miorine, but tells Suletta she has the wrong idea about him proposing. Later, Suletta takes part in a mobile suit exam. There, a pilot needs to work with a spotter and mechanic to navigate a minefield and shoot targets. She immediately fails because she has no one to work with. So she ends up meeting with the Earth House with Nika's help to get test partners. Chucha runs her off since she is a space noid, and Suletta ends up getting Miorine's help with the test. 2 Spacian mean girls sabotage Suletta's mobile suit's camera, like they did earlier with Choo-Choo's, resulting in Suletta breaking down after continually failing the test. Choo-Choo steps in, knocking out the girls, resulting in Suletta is more like her than... Can we just, do this, cut this part, can we just do this again? Choo-Choo steps in, knocking out the girls, realizing that Suletta is more like her than she thought, and Suletta is accepted into Earth House.
Now, I know this is the Welcome Robot Holiday Special. I think it'd be really fucking funny to just, for until time immemorial, to read all these stupid-ass summaries in a Dracula voice.
That would be very funny.
To be fair, Paptimus Sirocco from Zeta Gundam is basically Dracula. The precedent's been set.
Although sometimes it ends up sounding more French.
Yeah, you went almost Felonious Gru near the end there, which is a nice little twist I appreciated.
I guess I'm from Luxembourg. They're half French. That's just what it is. That's just what they sound like.
That's where the real Dracula castle is. This
He's
one,
like,
it's
has a, like, ever since Trez died, he has a timeshare there. Like, Dracula
exactly.
preventers get their money. Like, Dracula has a timeshare.
So this one starts out like immediately after the last one does with Guel's proposal to Suletta, and she's immediately like, "No, fuck, no, no, no!" And she just like starts running away, and he's like, "Wait, not like that!" But just kind of fails to tell her what he means by it. Like this entire episode is just a complete lack of communication on Guel's part. Just like he needs to explain something, and he's not.
It's not like a. It's blah, blah, blah. It's not like I. It is not like I like you like that, Baka.
it it's very tsundere. It's
There,
interesting. I really
there, there.
I would not be able to keep up that voice the entire episode. It's gonna be
Well,
hard for radio.
had I have had some experience with German and French. Like, but my French is better than my German.
Mm.
So, like, I've never done voice acting, but if you need a very fake sound, if you need just some very fake sounding generic European accents, I'm right here.
uh, let's see, what is it? Yeah, oh, that's right. The whole thing was kind of being televised by like the Haro video thing, and the whole school's laughing at Guel after he gets stood up after this. And we cut to Vimja Turk, his dad, being chewed out by like his board of directors, being worried about the future of his company because his son is just a complete fail boy, and they cut his funding. So Guel once again going down the Jared fail son route, which give me.
Vim Jetuk also has confiscated Gil's new mobile suit.
Yeah, he gets the Delanza for. I'm sorry, he gets the Daryl Bald for one episode, and it's like, all right, asshole, back in the garage it goes.
No more toys. You cannot play with this one anymore.
Let's see.
You are an embarrassment to our family name.
Not to me though.
Not to me too. Like, this is so funny. Like, he's such a tsundere. He is such a tsundere.
That's a very fun word to say. Tsundere.
Tsundere.
It's a good mouthfeel to that. So it's class the next day, and like Miorine changes Suletta's clothing color because she keeps on like forgetting to wear the holder colors, like the white and gold instead of the green and I guess like black or orange or something.
It just gives her too much attention. Like,
yeah.
Suletta does not want this attention.
Yeah, she really doesn't. And like the kind of like clique of girls, not the evil girl clique, but just like the regular popular girl clique goes up and like asks Suletta, is like, "Hey, what's happened? What was that? You getting married?" And Guel comes in and like runs him off, and again, very tsundere shit, but he does like apologize to Miorine, just like Suletta asked him to, which is very nice. He does a nice, a reverential bow and leaves the room, and at least he swallowed his pride.
At least he did.
It's, I like Guel. I think, honestly, we could see him, if he continues down this path of complete failure, we could definitely see him becoming a part of Earth House later on, being like, fuck my family. Hate my dad. I don't want a corporation. I want to hang out with you guys. I want to hang out with the goat.
Yes. Fuck this family. Like, I would absolutely, like, I would bet money on this. Like, I would.
I think, I think Guel is definitely like, I mean, of all the other characters, most likely to kind of like defect, because there's certain things with other characters that'll kind of call into question their loyalties. But until then, that's not this episode. We cut to like the training field. We see all the demi trainers. We hear of a student named Reiko Hamlet. So that's the second Shakespeare reference.
Yes.
Just in name only.
I do love Shakespeare. Like, I have been alive long enough that I actually knew him personally.
Okay, all right, we're a character. Okay, all right. I thought it was a voice. No, this is entire. I like this. This is yes. Good. This is some deep.
Yes, I have that too much gene. Like, it is very closely linked with being a neuter.
It checks out.
To try to just see how long I can keep this up.
Yeah. So it's like the pilot's in this mobile suit, right? There's like a spotter and an engineer that work with you to kind of like navigate this minefield and like change out your equipment to do this like kind of fire test. And Suletta instantly fails because she doesn't have anyone, like she doesn't have a mechanic or a spotter. No one's on her team. And I don't think she's been told about a single like aspect of this entire school because every single thing is like new and exciting to her.
There appears to have been not a single orientation.
Right.
Like, there is the orientation. There is that weird book of there is that booklet of like school rules. Why does she not know what the rules are? Like, it's almost like she just popped in at just all of a suddenly out of the blue.
Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, honestly, the lack of orientation is truly concerning here. And we also see a subtitle of a student named Ultra Chewbacca passes his test. So Ultra Chewbacca's done it again, folks.
Omelette Chewbacca.
Some fucking just delicious Gundam names in this episode.
Yes. Very delicious name.
And then we get Chewatory Pan Lunch, another great name. Choo Choo is the character ever.
She is. Although, like, for how, like, I've seen on the Twitter, people have been debating that how does she fit in all of that hair into that tiny little helmet? It's like that stuff is compressible. Like, you can like take so much of it and put it so small. Like, I mean, it like shrinks like a bunch once you braid it or you like put it in a bun and it gets all like tiny and that. Like,
yeah.
And like, especially with that texture, like even somebody with such coily hair would be able to fit it all in to that helmet. Although I think the more practical option would have been cornrows. That is what I learned at cosmetology school.
Chuleta cornrows. Much to consider here.
Not Suletta, Chucho.
I'm sorry, yeah, the Chu and Su, similar sounds.
Yeah.
Choo cornrows is much to consider here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think I feel like it was very obvious to me. Just like, yeah, it makes sense that her hair can fit inside her helmet. Yeah. It's fine.
Like, it's like, how do you think like people get beanies on? It's like, it's not such a mystery. Like, right. I know it. Like, it's not a mystery. It's just hair.
I personally put enough product in my hair to turn it into kind of like a rocky shell that is just incompressible and immovable. But that's just how I do it.
Currently, I am trying for like another mullet, but like, I had one. I grew one last year, but I ended up cutting it off because the ends got damaged from me coloring my hair. And I am actually growing it back out again. And hopefully this time I will be able to maintain having that one haircut that every single guy in Gundam 00 that is like a very spectacular mullet. Like, they all just have like such great hair, and I am amazed that that choice was made in 2007. Then it was like peak, like, oh, like bleh, that part of the 80s, bleh.
Truly ahead of its time.
Very.
But Choo Choo goes up and she's in her demi trainer. It's like more yellowish and its visor's a little different, a little more tactical.
I think it has like a sniper rifle and like a little spike on it, and I think that like the faceplate is like a different shade of green. And it has like more, I think like the yellow bits are like armor.
Yeah, its armor's yellow. It has like a Splinter Cell looking like zoom lens. And she starts the course and ends up failing because her visor like goes black, like some kind of reactive paint on it turns black, and she like stumbles down a cliff and hits a mine and blows up. doesn't like blow up. It's just like sends up a ton of dirt and she's
It
fine. But like,
is simulated.
yeah. But she's like, we see it sabotage. Like we see these mean girls who are really happy that Choo Choo got failed, and they walk off, and Choo Choo leaves, and there some of the Earth House people are walking around later to that day, and they see Suletta like kind of scrambling around asking people for help, and everyone's turning her down because she's in so deep with Mirene and Gwell, and they don't want to make enemies by like helping her out.
That is not very nice.
No, again, everyone in this school is really up their own ass except for apparently just the Earth people and Mirene, kind of.
Yeah.
Everything else is bad.
We will get back to that.
Yeah. But she sees Nika and she asks Nika if Nika could be her spotter. And Nika's like, well, I'm already helping other people, but we need people who can help you out. So she takes Suletta to the Earth House, which is like the Earth House, which is, I guess, part hangar, part barn.
That is very cool. And also, like, there is a goat.
Named Geeko.
Geeko.
Geeko the goat.
Now, she can be Duzarte. Do you want the taste of butter? The witch from Mercury.
This goat rules. I love the face she makes when she sees the goat, and she assumes that this is the person who's going to help her that Nika was talking about.
Like, well, he would have been. Well, Geeko would be a very good helper. I mean, he is the goat. He is the greatest of all time. He is the goat.
He's the Geeko of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we get to meet all the Earth House people. So we've met Nika, we've met Choo Choo, who's not here right now. But we see Martin, who has like brown hair, kind of a bowl cut. We've seen him before. He's like the president, like the class president of the house. We see this girl named Aaliyah who has black hair. We see this guy Till, who has kind of like a gray onion head. Like his hair is like...
It looks like that cement pineapple that my mom bought at Home Goods.
Oh my god, a cement pineapple is such a Home Goods fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, every time that we go over there together, it's like, okay, what will they have done this time?
We see Ohello, or Ojello, Ojelo. I guess it's Ohello. He's like the guy who's always betting on every single fight. He's a really fun character. And then Nuno is the guy who wears a beanie all the time, who's like a mechanic.
Yeah, like, get that bag. What was his name again?
Ohello.
Ohello. Get that bag, Ohello.
Except he's not, because he fucks up every single bet. It rules. It's a very good bit. Choo Choo walks in and she chucks a wrench at Suletta.
There was also like that other girl, like Lilik, like
that's right, Lilik. I forgot about Lilik.
Like she was like, I mean, there was that old lady back in like the second episode. Yeah. And it's like, wow, like these women are not jerks, and it's like these women are not jokes in the eyes of the show. It's like, wow, like. This is, like, never fail surprise me, Gundam Witch.
Yeah, just, like, diverse body shapes.
Yeah, just, like, so many people, like, yeah, like, that is what people look like. Maybe not like they have, like, cotton candy stuck to their heads, unless there was a very unfortunate accident at the carnival.
Yeah, Lilik is probably my favorite, like, Earth House character, just because she's, like, she seems so disconnected to everything. Like, the things that she focuses on in conversation are completely, like, oh gosh, there's a thing she says later on that really cracks me up.
She is vibrant, and I love her for that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as mentioned, Choo Choo comes in and fucking chucks a wrench at Suletta trying to get her to leave. She calls her a Spatian turd. It's very funny. It's very silly, but it's also kind of sad because Suletta can't make friends right now.
Yeah, very sad.
Poor girl. We see a quick little scene of the Darrow ball being taken from Gwell because he's a fail son. And then we see, it's like later that evening, I say in quotes, because they just changed the skybox.
Wait, can I go back? It's like And this is the part there it seems like Guel wants to, like, possibly change his ways and, like, rebel against Vim Jetuk. I just
Yeah.
really like say I just really like saying Vim Jetuk in this accent.
Vimjatak.
Vim.
Um, but it's later that afternoon, and Suletta's like sadly sitting on the steps alone, like wondering what she's gonna do when she sees Elon Ceres, or Karis, I guess it is.
Whatever, Elon Musk.
He invites her to his house.
I can't believe we have gone so long without making an Elon Musk joke about him.
Oh, I never will. This Elon's so much fucking cooler to me. I mean, literally any Elon is aside from that guy, but like, I like this Elon.
Yeah.
It's Elan, Elan, not On. Thank God. But Elon invites her to his house Pale. And she's like about to accept it.
That's the one with the freaky ladies with the little ear things and the blue lipstick. They all kind of remind me of my old wife from Overwatch, Moira.
A little bit.
So much.
They should have been called the House Fail. Miorine tells her, hey, fuck that guy. He sucks. You gotta leave. Like, why are you making friends with an enemy of me? Because, like, he's one of the three houses and they're after my hand in marriage. I'll be your mechanic and spotter because I can do these things because I'm a competent student. And she takes Suletta to, like, the most fucking, like, filthy, unclean dorm room you've ever seen.
And that is hers. It used to be her father's office when he was running this school. But ever since he left, it has been Miorine's room.
It's like, you live like this?
Bitch, you live like this.
It's like fucking... I guess she does. It's like full of plants, which is like her real passion. But again, empty bottles and trash bags and just like, girl.
You need some help. Like, how do you live like this? Like, I have been trying to, like, break out of that habit for, like, a few years now. And it's like, it is very, very hard, especially with, like, ADHD. But it's like, I have been doing for, like, the past, like, 3 or 4 months. Like, I've just been doing this really big, like, remodel in my room. And also moving the sewing room to the basement former family room, so that we can have more space.
It's nice making space. I gotta rearrange some shit.
Yeah.
So
more. Like, there always is more. Like, you would be surprised.
Yeah.
I always
there's just everything happens so much. There's everything everywhere all the time. Just like that movie. Just like that movie. It's a good fucking movie.
I've not seen it. I don't really see movies.
Me neither. But like when I say it's one of the best movies I've ever seen, I was like genuinely impressed. Yeah. So we get like a kind of quick scene of Miorine memorizing like the maintenance manual for the Demi, and she's like, "All right, I'm a genius. I know what to do." And then it's like Suletta asks her with more help from her homework, and then we cut to Earth, and Gundam begins because we see a fucking crowd of protesters down with Spatian oppression. Let's fucking go.
Yes, let's go. And then they are being attacked by just a regular Dilanza, like no fancy paint, no feather, just green. Like
I think it's called a Dilanza Sol, SOL, because it's like if you look in that scene of them, like the kind of like tactical like dark gray mobile suits, there's a Dilanza, there's a not a Michaelis, but like the more basic a Hindry, and there's a Zowort. So it's like all three of these houses like use their own mobile suits to kind of like come together and bolster the
like
fucking
fight. Like they all like fighting, competing each other in space, but like you know what? Bullet is bullet.
That's like it's very simple, but again, knowing how much these houses are like at each other's throats and like doing reconnaissance against each other and sabotage, like goddamn, they're gonna come together to protect their billions of assets against like the fucking poor ass Earthians.
Yeah,
it's you know, I'm thinking it's themes.
Yes, very themes.
The Earth kids are like watching this broadcast, and they're, you know, they're like, fuck the Spacians, they're cheering on the Earthians, and we see Choo Choo, who's in
She's
a
not
bonnet. She's in a bonnet!
on it. Like, if you have hair like that, like, it is very recommended. Although, like, I'm surprised she doesn't have it in twist. It's like, it's just all loose in that bonnet. Like, another thing I learned at cosmetology school.
Yeah. And she's talking to, like, her blue-collar dad collective is all I can really think about to describe
She
it.
has six dads. Six dads.
I,
Six
you,
dads.
Dilf
Six
City.
dads. Like,
Six dads.
so many. Like, that is a lot of dads.
My father, my father, my father, my father, my father, and me.
Six and a half. 6.5. 6 men, 1/2 girl.
Pretty good. And you know, she like asks how they're doing with that demonstration, and they're like, "Oh, we're fine. You know, keep up the good work. We hear you're kicking ass over there. Literally, we love that. Good for you."
Yeah, like the television broadcast was like pretty much everything is run by Spacian money, and they're like, oh, look at all of this, look at all of this. Look at all of these weapons that we have confiscated from the Earthnoid protesters, and it's just like a bunch of empty vodka bottles. It's just like that. It's just like that is not going to do anything against the Gundam. That is not going to do anything. And like they were showing this riot gas, and like the can it came in was like the size of I would say about
it's like a beer keg.
It was like that big, and it was just like being tossed around with absolutely no care. Like, you could probably like squish somebody with that, like, even though it's supposedly like non-lethal gas. Like,
I think it's themes.
They all still like, and they also still squish the car. Themes.
It's impossible to say whether or not it's themes. But we kind of cut from Suletta talking to her six dads to I'm sorry, Choo Choo talking to her six dads, and we cut to Suletta like studying in the middle of the night. She's like still at Mirene's room, and like Mirene comes out, asks her what the hell she's doing, and she kind of just like. She talks about how she has this dream that she wants to found a school on Mercury to kind of like revitalize it.
I actually have in my notes just like this whole thing I wrote about Suletta's dream, and can I read it out? Suletta wishes to open a school back home on Mercury to try to bring more people to Mercury. After it was discovered that permit can also be mined on the moon more cheaply than it would have been to have mined it on Mercury, the population began shrinking and people would leave. Like any other children that had ever been there, they would grow up and they would just never leave their town. And by the time that Suletta and her mother had gotten there, it was just old people, and Suletta was alone. The Mercurians were very happy with Suletta's idea to leave, to go and learn, so that she could come back and start a school and reinvigorate the life of the old settlement she was at. Now, Mirene does ask her, like, why would you want to do all of this for somebody else? And before Suletta can explain, like, she tries, but Mirene has gone back to sleep. That was kind of me or mean of her.
Get her ass. I really like that because I feel like the core of that scene is Mirene kind of pushing back. Like her biggest criticism to Suletta is like wondering why she's putting all that responsibility on herself. I feel like that's kind of in contrast to Mirene's responsibility that like she doesn't want to have, that her father puts on her, of like finding a groom and like, you know, basically doing things in the interest of the Benrick group and not like herself as a person. Yeah. So when she sees like Suletta doing that, but like it's for herself and like these other people, and it's like a much
She
more kind of
wants
like,
to help. She wants to help, like, girl. Like,
yeah,
sometimes it feels nice to help.
it's good to help.
It's,
So
I guess we are going into more Sesame Street stuff because I guess this is the part where Maureen learns about, like, everybody learns about friendship.
yeah. Except for the fucking mean girls who we see a really quick shot in like the middle of the night of them spraying that kind of reactive masking paint on the visor
It's
of the
like, how
Demi.
does it do that? Like, I mean, like, how do you know how long it will be there? Or like,
I think it's heat. I think it's like starts to activate once the visor turns on and like starts emitting heat.
I guess that makes sense. But like you girls are like just like, wow, like that is not very funny. Like, I mean, if you wanted to do like a prank, like I don't know, maybe like try and find a space big boy and then steal the space big boy statue and then put it up the roof of the school, like how my mom used to do it back when she was in high school. Like that is a proper prank, you girls, you Spacians.
Yeah, Spacian
Bleh,
turds.
bleh.
Uh, so we as like they get ready to go into the Demi and like begin the day. Choo Choo is there and like pissed that Miorine is there because she's a Spacian, and a lot of it is Miorine just being like, "Hey, like I'm better." She says this fucking stupid ass line of like, an Earthian calling a Spacian bad is just as discriminatory as the opposite, and Miorine, that is not true.
I guess in like our real world context, like it is, since like there are no like space people and there are no like Earth people, and like I hope that if we ever get to that point, like we'll have gone past the need for such petty squabbles amongst ourselves, amongst all of you little pathetic humans.
You'd
Maybe,
hope.
maybe like us, we understand how just like petty and small, like your lifetimes, they are just like a blink. They can go by in a blink of my eyes, my special vampire eyes.
Oh shit, Dio. Oh fuck. Space Ripper stingy eyes.
my special vampire eyes. Maybe like if I live to see the day where we are reaching for the stars, I really hope that we will have figured out all of our bullshit first. And
I
we
don't
will
think
have, and we will not have any of the space wars. We will not. We will cooperate. We will understand each other. Even if we don't become the space psychics, we will be better people by then. Or so help me God.
I think also a vampire in space is probably a bad idea because this you can't really get away from the sun.
I mean, it's like once you get far enough out, and like, I mean, stars don't affect me.
That's a fair point.
It's like, or the moon. Like, the moon does not burn me. It's like, even though it is sunlight, like, maybe I would be able to handle it out more, like, amongst the rings of Saturn or in the asteroid belt. Like, I probably will not end up getting super depressed from lack of vitamin D out in there.
You take your vitamin D as Walker about PSA as the days get shorter and daylight savings time ends. Make sure you get some vitamin D for the winter.
In
It's good
the
for you.
black of space, like, it can turn one's heart cold, but maybe you'll just need to take a multivitamin, Hama.
Yeah.
Rue, like they said that Rue had a calcium deficiency, but like, I mean, like, you should all just like check. Like, you would be surprised.
Yeah. So after Mirin and Choo Choo face off, Suletta begins the exam, and Mirin's helping her, and it's going okay until the pain activates, and like the girls high five, and Suletta runs out of time. But we learned that you can just keep on retrying, practicing your like makeup exams as many times until you get it right.
Doreen is trying to get her to pilot by instrument blind, And even though she keeps failing and failing and failing, she just repeats it over and over and over again. And they eventually reach the part where the weapon on the mobile suit gets to be changed out. And Maureen leaves from the little spotter station to go to the weapons station on one of those little horror bikes that are. She is also like drifting all over the place. Like she can skate, dude.
Yeah, she got moves. I want to see her do the Akira slide.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, if she ever gets out of here, like maybe try joining the SpaceX games. Not like that SpaceX, like the other X.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There is like several spaces between the space and the X.
The SpaceX games.
Yes, not the other one. Like that's
no, the good ones.
Like, I mean, if my experiences from all the various field days I went to, like, that's and also knowing everything about everybody that would be involved in that, like, that sounds like hell to me.
Yeah, God, really. And like when she gets to that equipment thing, like she runs out of time, and like Miriam's like, "All right, come on, we'll retry it." And Soletta's like, "Actually, hey, fuck this. I want to go home. This sucks. I didn't want to do any of this shit. I just wanted to go to school, have a normal life, and not stick out." And she's just like sobbing. This is sad.
Her teardrops collect inside of her visor.
God.
And it just drips down the inside of the visor.
It's oh God. It's so sad. And then Choo Choo sees this and kind of like hears Miorine trying to like convince her by talking her that she has so many people relying on her and all like the little goodies and trinkets they gave her for good luck. And Choo Choo's like, "Oh shit, she's just like me for real."
And she's like, she has the dreams of Mercury. And those other two girls, they do not have any reason to be here besides being them born into some rich Spacian families. Like, it runs over there, and I guess just like blame it on the misfortune of their births.
She fucking rocks this one girl. Like, one punch, this girl's laid the fuck out. And then she just starts... so good. Exactly. She's just, like, rocking this other girl. And, like, Suletta rolls up. And the beanie Earthian guy rolls up, whose name I already forgot. Nuno. Nuno. And like Suletta tries to intervene, and like she ends up getting punched by the girl like right in the face too in this fight. And then we get one final Choo Choo like fucking rage punch, just obliterates this girl.
Nuno, duo, trio, quattro.
Pretty good. And everything's fine though. Like no one gets in trouble from teachers or anything. They're just like kind of bandaged up that evening.
Like they're all just like fighting each other. Like I love this. Like I love this. Like I could have like not to brag, but like I could have probably actually handled my arguments in high school like this. Also, I'm not sure it was a very good idea, but I did take karate a bunch back then.
And Nika like asks once more, it's like, "Hey, you want to join Earth House?" And she like looks at Choo Choo, who just kind of like walks off and is like, even though I'm a first year, I'm your senior. And it's nice.
Like in the context of the school, or also like learning the karate, like that is your senpai. Your teacher is your senpai. Also, for more funny little coincidences, the person giving the strike in karate or any other Japanese martial arts, they are the sime, and the person receiving it is the yuke.
I've heard that fucking term.
Where that comes from It is an actual martial arts term, and
And look what's happened to it.
it's like, I mean, I think like the last time that I was in my judo class, there was like a beginner class right next door, and like somebody, and like there was this other girl there who ended up just absolutely fucking losing it when they said and the uke. I need to get to know her better. Like, she can hang.
Yeah, really. That
I
rules.
wonder if she knows anything about Gundam. Like, we both like anime, I guess. Like, we have something in common.
Hell yeah. And that'll do it for episode 4. So up next is episode 5. Reflections in an Icy Eye. Elon takes part in a 3-on-1 duel and handily wins using his tactical superiority. We quickly learn that he is Enhanced Person Number 4, a human seemingly created only to pilot Gundams. Pale House orders him to find more information on Ariel to determine if it is indeed a Gundam. He wants to duel Suletta right away, but is asked to test out his own Gundam, Feract, first. He challenges Guel to a duel, which he easily wins, and then challenges Suletta, with Ariel being the wager. Shit. Fuck. It's a cyber new type. We found them. 5 episodes in. They're back.
Cyber new type. 2 cyber new type. 3 cyber new type. 4 cyber new type.
Do you think it's relevant that he's named after Murasame, the kind of fucking prototypical cyber new type in Gundam?
I think like you were predicting, or like I've seen people predicting that he would be like a cyber new type, and I guess we were all right.
Yeah, we kind of see. I mean, that's the reason why he's been so like kind of cold and calculating. The episode kind of starts off in like a 3-on-1 duel against these guys, Wume, Osh, and some third guy we don't know the name of.
Wufe ass and other guy. Like,
yeah, third dude.
I like that is how Gundam names work. Like, other guy is a perfectly cromulent name.
Right, exactly. Elon's in a Zawart, and he's fighting these. I don't even know what these suits are, but they're cool. They kind of have like these like almost wheeled legs that split apart like centaurs. They're like wheeling around.
I love like the old mechs. Like, again, like back to the nightmare stuff. Like, I still need to watch Wotoms, but like they also have the murder Heelys.
Yeah. And he ends up just like completely kicking ass. He like shoots one in the head and like shoots its arm off, which makes it spin around and like shoot the other one in the head. And the last one, he like, comes in with dual beam sabers and cuts it apart.
Yeah, like in those, like even though those two suits completely lost, like I still love them.
They're cool.
In them, you can do like actual victory laps.
Exactly. Yeah, you can do an Akira slide.
Yeah, in the mech. That would be so sick.
That would be fucking bad. Yes. We see Ohello, who lost 200,000 units on Elon losing. Very sad.
I do not really know what Gundam money is called. Like, I think it had like a fancy name and like double Zeta, and then it never came up again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like he just says 200,000. We don't know a denomination.
Fine, for all I care.
Yeah. Choo Choo's like, how lame, and Miarina's like, well, Elon's a tactical genius and outplayed him, so makes sense.
Yeah, it's like I could see it's like he is surrounded by like all of these tech kids. Like I could see Beanie guy, like betting guy. I do not. What was his name again?
Ohello.
Ohello. I could see him. Oh, it kind of sounds like Othello.
Oh, it's the.
Like it sounds like Othello.
It does sound like Othello, doesn't it?
Shakespeare. Also, like, Tutu brings up Romeo and Juliet, so, like, my Shakespeare theory is also coming together. Oh, my plan.
Okay, looking at the characters, it is Ojello. He's Ojello Gable, Ojello Giabaru, or Ojello Gabble, I guess. Ojello.
Like, I could see him, like, at this school full of all of these tech kiddies. I could see him possibly being suckered into being the bag holder in a crypto scheme.
Oh, Jello. It's gonna get some getting used to. But like we fucking snap cut from that duel to the Pale House talking about enhanced person number 4. Clearly, talking about Ilan.
Which is, I love those freaky ladies. Like,
yeah, it's just this strange group of 4 very like clearly enhanced people. So I guess the Pale Corp or whatever the fuck it's called is like into the more human experimentation, like prosthetics, cybernetics type stuff.
all of those ladies, they all look like witches, like in like on like TV. They remind me of witches, not like Gundam witches, but like other type of witches.
Yeah, not these witches. Yeah, and I guess
Like,
they're talking about it.
We're going to reference the Scottish play. Like there are only 3 of them. Like not 4. Like stop being weird. So many witches.
Unless the witches are Suletta, Ilan, and some third character who can pilot a Gundam real good. Because it seems like Ilan counts as a witch. I'm gathering.
Maybe Orlok.
Yeah, you go. But they want Ilan to find out like how the fuck Ariel works, like how it masks the data storm that would kind of prove it's a Gundam. So he has like a little spy mission he gets to do this week.
Yeah, he is going to go into the machine again. Like, I mean, I guess they have like that fancy. I guess like since it's all like fancy and technological over here, I guess they have like the whatever the juicero for soup would be.
The Supero.
It's just like a hot juicero. Like it still is only like you can just get it out with the same thing with a hammer on the stove. Like you only need a hammer. Like I mean, like you are overcomplicating this too much. Like I mean, like I kind of miss that. Like then you could like just like take something apart. Like I just took apart my sewing machine for like the first time, and it's like, oh, like this is actually surprisingly easy to do. Like all I need is a Q-tip and a screwdriver, not even like a Phillips head screwdriver, and I can just take it all apart and like clean it all off and just put it back together, and it runs like a dream.
Nice.
I saved myself $80 and having it out of the house for a week.
There you go.
Like just if you can, like learn just how to take apart your stuff. Like
yeah,
amazing. Like I have had my mind blown. Like I want to take apart more stuff.
And speaking of taking apart, the next scene is they're in the hangar in the Earth house, and like Nika and Nuno and Ojello and everyone are like doing mechanics work on Ariel, and they're like, hey, this thing kicks ass. What the fuck? What is this machine? There's so much cool shit in here. We love it. How does it work?
What is this? What is this witchcraft?
Witch? I'm not a who's a witch? I'm not a witch.
If she was a witch, it would be made of wood. Like that's how witches are. Like they're made out of wood, and I think they look like ducks.
I believe it.
Yeah.
We see Suletta talking with Aaliyah, and Aaliyah's like casting like sticks and rocks on this kind of like dowsing board. What is it?
Like I do not know what like that specific like I do not really know much about that specific form of divination. Like my specialties are tarot and basically just like shitpost astrology. Actual astrology involves too much math. Like
yeah.
It's like you have to just like keep counting and like beyond what vampire count. Like this is not like elementary school stuff. Like I mean, like what you then also have to do like angles and get into like geometry for like that stuff. But like yeah, like astrology involves a surprising amount of math. Like I guess for like the man I actually like with the eyebrows, like that guy, like you need surprising amount of math.
Yeah, this is just tossing some sticks and rocks onto like a little board. And Aaliyah sees like something in a spot of like a male figure in Suetta's life, but her father died when she was 4, obviously, and like she doesn't have a guy anywhere and no brother. And she's like wondering if it could be about Elon, and she wants to have Aaliyah read a fortune clearly about Elon, but she needs to know his birthday, which she doesn't, so she can't get anything done. And like, as if on cue, through magic, Elon calls her, and she freaks out. She's like, Moshi. It's so fucking funny. I love it.
And he wants to take her on a date, but like, not like a normal date. Like, do these people only ever do Gundam things? It's like, why not
Yes.
get a new date? Why not like do the soul couples, the Ferris wheel, or like the swan boats? Like, I like the swan boats, very romantic. Very.
Yeah, that's the only things to do in this entire school are fight Gundams or go see goats.
Yeah.
I guess Elon doesn't like the goats.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I have no idea how Elon would react to the goats. Or, like, the whole petting zoos that they have. Like, I mean, going to a petting zoo would be a more romantic prospect than just Gundam stuff. And they don't even leave the field. They don't even leave the school in the Gundam stuff. Like, they're not even doing, like, cool outer space synchronized mech flights like the Valley and the Eve.
But it's all fucking Gundams. They like have a slumber party later that night about it. Like they're all like in their pajamas in the room, and the leak is like,
like she is so cute. Like she wants the best for Suletta on her date, and it's like she is the most normal person here.
I know. She's
like,
just like,
oh my god, Suletta, you are going on a date with Elon. Like, I mean, maybe she has like a crush on him or something. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not very clear. I mean, it doesn't need to be very clear, but yeah, like she is like, oh my god, Suletta, I hope you have a very romantic date.
yeah. Like, she's just like, oh, you turned well down so you can get with Elon. Like, she's just so unbothered by, like, the clearly, like, political plays going on. She just wants to gossip.
Oh my god, like, promise tomorrow. Like, I mean, we can't have a Gundam fight here. Like, what is this, Ashford Academy? Like, this is not... like, you cannot bring mechs into high school stuff. Like, you cannot have that guy making the pizza with the giant robot. Like, you cannot do that. Like, why not normal? Like, maybe we could do, like, some singing or, like, musical or stuff. Or maybe even start, like, a glee club. But, like, why are you all so Gundam-y? Like, why are you so Gundam-y? Like, stop. Like, there's other stuff in life. Even though, like, it might not seem like it. Because, like, Gundam is good. Like, yeah.
It's because it's Walko Robot. That's all.
Wow. Cool.
But Aaliyah calls him the Ice Prince, which is, you know, very clear based on his own mannerisms and everything.
About Mr. Genshin Impact over there is like
honestly.
He looks,
she
I do not Genshin, like Bandai still has my wallet, like he does look like a guy from that game.
He very much does. And she calls her mom to like tell her about it, and her mom is very nice and supportive, and she's just proud of all the progress she's making, and like one of
normal, like very normal for Lady Prospera. Like,
yeah, she's a good mother, except for all the other things.
It's like she kind of seems like so far for Charles. Like, I mean, there was Schwartz, but like that is like I think his situation was rather different from the nano machines. But, like, she seems like one of the more sensible Char clones. Like, she has her head on straight.
Yeah.
Like,
we see one of her employees walks in the room, and he's just like, hey, fucking Pale Technologies is making their move. And Prosper is like, earlier than expected. So, again, espionage, they all know shit.
I mean, Pale Technologies is also making a move on her daughter.
Yeah.
Busta.
And they don't care as much about her about the actual Gundam.
Yeah, like, it's like, I still think he wants to fuck the Gundam.
Yeah, he's not fully human, so there could be something there.
Yeah, it's but I mean, who doesn't want to fuck the Gundam? I want to fuck the Gundam!
Pale's doctor, who we've seen earlier in this episode, she has, like, black hair, and she's a character that Prospera knows, that we learn later on, but, like, she's talking to Elon, theorizing about like how the Ariel is so agile and like how it masks all the gun format and the data storm. And Elon comes to the conclusion that Suletta is an enhanced person like he is, and then like he makes his fucking endoskeleton glow with like that permet circuitry, just like what happened with Suletta's parents.
Red, it's like red, like blood.
Yeah, and then Suletta's was blue when she did it, which is interesting.
You need to like slow down. Like that is not good. Like the red is not the good color.
Yeah, exactly. That's the evil color. Shit.
Yeah, it's like although he may be able to run like 3 times as fast.
That's right. That's how it works. He wants to fight her straight away, but the doctor's like, "Hey, before you like get the Ariel and test it out, why don't you test out the Ferract first?"
I wonder how many cubic centimeters of filler you would have to have gotten in order to become an enhanced person.
Yeah.
It's like
I
mean,
gotta
like,
know what the fuck they mean by this.
Not like Cyberman type. It's like that is a very vague term. Like enhanced in what there? Like I mean, have you had like your lips, your eyebrows, your eyelids, your butt? Like what?
Yeah, he has butt implants. I think that's what it is. So Earth House like loads up the Ariel for her date. She's in her pilot costume because Elon told her to bring Ariel. Miorine comes in doing like a fucking 360 spin on the Haro cycle trying to stop.
Like Mir, like, hey Bandai, I have an idea. Like I know you haven't like answered my previous phone calls, and like I think you might have blocked my number, but like Miorine Rembrandt's pro skater. Like we will make all money. We will make like so many yen.
It's like pro scooter. She yells to Suletta, "Don't you dare go all Romeo and Juliet on me." Fucking Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's even more like we have had The Tempest, Othello, Romeo and Juliet, possibly the Scottish play. Possibly. And if you say the M word, you are going to go and have to spin around outside until you start getting very, very dizzy while doing the alphabet backwards. Like that is what I was supposed to say. That is what I was told to do. Tell somebody to do if they have ever mentioned the Scottish play. Although I'm not sure if that is only for saying it inside the theater or not. It is very unclear, but I do not want to take that risk.
Yeah, fair enough. But Suletta goes, and like as she's heading off to meet with Elon, we see Guel is at the gym pumping iron, and like the two mean girls from like the first episode right here, we learn like the kind of like dirty blonde hair is Felsi, her name. And they basically tell Guel that like Suletta's going on a date with Elon, and he's like, "Where the fuck did they go? Out for blood." And Elon is Suletta.
That is my fiance. He's like a fiance guy. Even though it's like she's not really his fiance. Like, dude, like she's just not that into you, girl. Like, I mean, like, hopefully you will have some character development to understand better in the future.
I hope he just continues to flip-flop between doing something cool and being a complete fucking tool. I love Guel. He's the best character in this show so far.
Yes. Tool. Yuck.
So we cut to the training field. Elon and Suletta get in the Ariel, kind of under the guise of like, Elon's part of the dueling committee, so he has to inspect the dueling field. And inside...
This is not a date. This is chores. That is not a date. That is chores.
Yeah, hey, fucking Suletta, do you want to go on a date to pick up trash around the park? Do you want to go on a date to my kitchen to clean some plates?
Like if that is what you both are into, like that could be a good date idea. But like if you both care very much about the environment, but like you two haven't known each other for like that long. I mean, it's like, why not normal date? And then it's like, he just like, they go in there to inspect it. And then he then just takes off in Ariel. Like, bro, it's like, he just like he just dumped her for her sister, man. Like, that is not cool. Like, not cool, Elon. Not cool.
Yeah, like, because what he does, he says he wants to learn more about Suletta, and again, he's like asking how long she's been with Ariel, and Suletta's like, oh, my whole life, and he asks her if she's ever had any like discomfort or issues piloting it, and Suletta's like, no, not really, it's been totally fine. She's a good friend or even family. And then she like kind of sheepishly asks his birthday because that's what she wanted to find out the whole time when she hung out with him. And he, brushes by that, and then he's like, "Hey, can I pilot your Gundam solo?"
Like,
And she lets him for some
like,
fucking
what
reason.
are you doing? And you're like losing your whole bag here. Like, that is not cool. Like, dick move, party pal. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets in Ariel and like jumps far enough away behind a hill that Suletta can't see him, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna figure this shit out myself." And he activates Permet Score 2. And it the lights glow on the Ariel, and he gets this kind of like
Jimmy Neutron brain blast.
exactly.
It's like so cool. Like, I really want to see this more in this show. It's like really cool. It's like entering Code Lyoko. Like, it is cool.
It is like entering Code Lyoko.
Yeah, it's like very cool. Like, I love the circuitry looking stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that fucking Permet. And he sees this and he's like, wait a minute, none of the sensations are here. Like, I can tell it's on, but I'm not feeling anything. And he like rolls up his sleeve and sees that there's no circuitry on his arm. And he's like, he gets fucking mad. he like chucks his helmet and he's like holding his head in his hand. And he's like, Suletta is nothing like me. She's lifted the curse. And when he returns, Suletta's like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I asked your birthday and I can tell you got mad and you don't want to tell me. And he's like, that's something I never even had. And Suletta's like, oh, did your mom just not tell you?
Like, do you even have a mom? Like, I mean, like, if, like maybe he is lying and he is just being more of a dick.
I think it's more that he might actually not have one if he's an enhanced person. It was like kind of like a test tube baby.
But it's like, I mean, you still have like the day they like pop you out. Like, that is just like that is being born. Like, I mean, like, even though it's like I've seen like people be like people in like weirdo conspiracy theories, like they have kind of started this new term where it's like, oh, you were born using IVF, like, oh, your mom fucked a demon. Like, that is what happened. Like, the Lord did not want you to be born, but your parents...
Yeah, that really is some Catholic school shit, isn't it? He starts just, like, going off on Suletta, saying, you annoy me. Mobile Suit's nothing but a curse to me. And, like, she's, like, starting to cry because he's, like, going so fucking mean. And this is when Guel rolls up, and he's like, what the fuck did you say to her? What did you do? Like, so Guel's, like, defending Suletta now.
Yeah, like, very good for you. Like, I love that development, though.
Mm-hmm. And then Guel kind of surmises, like, all right, I can tell that you're mad at me and want to duel me, so let's just fucking do it, coward. And, like, the terms of this duel, Guel says that if he wins, Elon has to leave Suletta alone. And Elon says if he wins, he gets to duel Suletta next, which is a weird wager, but I thought he was totally fine.
Like, if I win, like, I want your Gundam sister. Like,
well, that's the duel he's gonna do with Suletta, I guess, next episode. This is like the stakes of this is that Elon can challenge Suletta if he beats Guel.
Yeah,
I guess he's just that confident.
Yeah, and
but they get ready to duel. Guel tells Suletta, he's like, hey, you can't trust this guy. You can't trust Elon. He's part of the three branches. And Suletta's like, aren't you also part of the three branches? And he's like, Baka.
I'm
great. It's good shit.
I'm not like Baka.
I'm built different.
I'm not like other girls.
I'm not like other Guels. He gets in his brother's Delons at a duel. And everyone's like, hey, you can't, Guel, please, God, stop getting mobile suits. You're going to get them broken. But Shadiq is like as loud as like, hey, can you stop my brother from taking my mobile suit? Shadiq is like, no, I want to see this, actually. This is going to be funny.
Get the fuck around and find out.
Yeah, basically. And we see Ilana in the Fair Act.
Hanging.
Mm-hmm. The Fair Act is so fucking cool. This thing is gorgeous. It is the FP/A-77 Gundam Feract. This is just Armored Core. Like, this isn't even a Gundam at this point.
Yeah, he has like those freaky feet and those ginormous shoulders.
Yeah, the shoulders are so cool. The way it's like, it honestly looks like some Advanced Zeta shit that's just like all thrusters up top and like these really tall. I don't even know what they are. Like the weird heels are really fun.
Of Zeta is, but it's like that's just where like all the freaks are. Like I like that.
Yeah, this is like a Titan's
like,
mobile suit basically.
I am one of you. I am one of you freaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Its Gund bits, its bit staves, are stored like on the inside of the like kind of shoulder thrusters. They're these little triangle plates that don't fire like weaponry. Like the Ferret has like a big beam rifle, like a sniper, but these Gund bits shoot like electromagnetic like laser beams. Right. They basically can like deactivate anything they hit. It's like, nuts.
It's like the neutralizer balls on the blue cheeseburger.
Kinda, yeah. Except this doesn't disrupt like Gund format. It just like disables electromagnetics in anything pretty much.
Yeah.
But again, I think that this might be a bit of a read, but I think the fact that the Feract is clearly this long-range mobile suit with a sniper rifle and these bits that like all they do is disable and freeze up opponents so they can't get in close to you. I think it might have a little bit of a tie-in with Elon's character as this Ice Prince kind of thing.
Yeah. Very.
But again, it's really pretty. I can't wait to actually build this fucking thing. Oh my god, it's so cool.
Like, I mean, I have not really had the money lately. Like, I'm still having a gunpla drought. Like, I did get the Shenlong then.
Yeah.
After that, like, all I need to do now is, like, find a Ving and a Death Scythe. And then, like, I will have all of my boys together. But, like, finding the Death Scythe has been so hard. It's like, I know, like, Duo is popular, but I was not expecting this popular.
Yeah, people like the edgy guy.
I don't think he's edgy. Like, he's just like a guy.
Yeah, I guess the suit is more the edgy part.
Like, I mean, he's like standing next to Hero. Like, I mean, how is he the edgy guy? Like,
that's true. That's true. I guess it's more that he has the edgy suit.
I mean, like, I really appreciate something having like the perky goth guy. The perky goth being a guy instead of a girl. Like, it's always a girl. Like, it's never a guy. They're always more like the broody ones. But like, he is the perky one. And I really think Elon like something different before even this whole concept of the perky goth existed. Like 1975.
But the duel continues. And Gwell is kind of like he's kicking up a lot of dust, this regolith, which is like moon dust essentially. And what ends up happening is that all of the regolith that's been kicked up, all of the electromagnetic beams that Elon's bit staves have fired, like have kind of added a static charge to it. So it ends up like coating all of the joints of Gwell's Delanza, or not Gwell's Delanza, but the Delanza that Gwell is piloting, that his brother's. But he ends up freezing and getting completely blasted by the bit staves, and then like Elon rolls up and pulls out a beam saber and just starts cutting his arms and legs off again.
It's like, I mean, like, he's like that other Monty Python reference that everybody makes.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Yeah, tis but a flesh wound.
And he just ends up like grabbing the horn of this Delanza and ripping it off and like holding it aloft.
Savage, like so savage.
It's terrifying. Fuck. We get like a quick little cut of Prospera seeing that pale doctor, and the pale doctor calls her senpai. So they know each other, whoever this doctor is.
They're friends, like back in maybe her old life, like back when she was Miss Samira.
Right, yeah. I wonder, because all the other characters we saw on that asteroid died. Like, she can't be one of the mechanics or anything like that.
Cyberpunk grandma, you will be missed. I will always remember you. You will forever be in my heart, Cyberpunk.
Yeah. But as he defeats Gwell and holds that horn up, he's like, the only way to defeat a Gundam is with another Gundam. And then Elon calls Suletta and is like, all right, hey, you're going to fight me next, and the stakes are your Gundam. If I win, I get that thing.
Yeah, like, I am going to steal your sister from you. Like, I mean, that is not cool. Like, that is a...
No, fuck no, it's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool, bro. Not cool.
But that's where the episode ends. So next week, I guess we'll be or in 2 weeks. But next week for the show, the TV show, anime. Fuck, it's confusing language. We'll probably see Elon duel Suletta. We'll finally get Gundam versus Gundam.
Yeah, like that will be amazing. Like I can't wait.
Yeah. So before we wrap things up, I got some research done on a voice actor for our segment of Beyond Toon World.
You're going to love this. Trust me. Beyond Toon World!
So this is the voice of Miorine Rembrandt. I figure it makes sense since we did Suletta last week. We'll do Miorine this week. We get our two main characters together. Miorine was voiced by a...
Do not separate the girls.
Do not separate. They belong together. She was voiced by a seiyuu named Lin, or who goes by Lin. Just Lin in all caps. She was born June 1st in Yokosuka, Kanagawa, Japan. Apparently, she had been interested in acting as far back as nursery school. And her bio on Wikipedia says that she watched Case Closed and Inuyasha in elementary school. So I'm like, how fucking young is she?
Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, like, by the time I was in elementary school, like, Inuyasha was already yesterday's news.
Right. Like, if I'm looking at when the anime was released, 2000 to 2004. So, I mean, I guess...
It was that recently? Like, I could have sworn it was earlier, like, 90s. Like, I mean... The
manga was written in the mid-90s.
Like, compressing, like, Toonami and just, like, time compression into Toonami. And somehow they always also forget about... And somehow they also always end up forgetting about Gundam, even though they were, like, already there.
Yeah.
Like, Goku doesn't talk to me anymore.
But yeah, I mean, so she's like as old as I am, probably like late 20s, early 30s. Her first main role, not as just kind of like a background or side character, doesn't have a name, was in Sabagebu in 2014 as a character called Maya Kyoto. But going from there, her notable roles in 2015, she was in Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans as a young Masahiro Altland. Pretty fun. In the video game Fire Emblem Fates in 2015, she voiced Azura, who's like the blue hair main character, kind of. Not the...
It's just blue.
Yeah. It's like kind of like a teal. She's cool. She's a fun character. Except for all the weird shit. In 2016, she voiced Atsushu Nakajima in Bungo Stray Dogs as a child. In 2016, Keijo, which I think is the show about ass.
That's just the one about butt sport.
Yeah, that's weird. But she does voice a character named Nozomi Kaminashi in that.
I have, like, watched it, but, like, it actually seems like it would be kind of fun to play.
Like, I feel like I would...
I do not have assets for it, but, like, I think that in theory, you could have fun playing it.
In 2016 Overwatch, she voiced Mei. In 2016 Life is Strange video game, she voiced Chloe.
Japanese or English?
Yeah, I'm sorry, these are, like, the Japanese dubs of these games. I was going to say, it'd be random if she'd voice Chloe in, like, the English dub of Life is Strange.
Yeah, that would be very random.
2017 show of Fuuka, she voiced Fuuka Kaitsuki. In 2017 Grand Blue Fantasy, she voiced Justice. In highly acclaimed shows by, like, all my friends, 2018 A Place Further Than the Universe, she voiced Yumiko Samejima. In 2019, I'm only including this because it's a really fucking funny name. Do You Love Your Mom and Her 2-Hit Multi-Target Attacks? Which is almost certainly some bullshit isekai.
It's like isekai and like light novel titles. They always sound like the name of the headlines for some sort of very, very fucked up agony. Like Dear Prudence. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? It's like they always are asking, like, especially the ones with the questions are like. Other ones, like, I mean, they all seem like light novel titles are more like headlines than titles. Like, I realize that. It is like, you are supposed to, most of them are originally published on the web, and they have those titles to just, like, try and pull you in instead of just naming it something very vague, like Sword Art Online. Like, what could that be about? Is it about drawing swords? Is it about drawing swords in the other way? But, yeah, like, light novel titles, like those very weird long ones, they are headlines, not titles.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Let's see. In 2019, Dr. Stone, she voiced Lillian Weinberg. Fucking God, Dr. Stone's so good. In 2019, Promised Neverland, she voiced Gilda. In 2019, the video game Devil May Cry 5, she voiced Nico in the Japanese dub. And hey, speaking of Sword Art, in 2020, Sword Art Online Alicization, she voiced Sheta.
Look, I do not actually know anything about Sword Art Online, or I do not
Don't, it's bad.
like, I don't even like Sword Art Online, but the only time I ever had any minor relevance on the internet before I did this was back in like 2016 when like Pokemon Go was like really big, and that was like, and that was also then like Sword Art was also getting very big at the same time. I made this very dumb joke on my Tumblr about like, oh, what if we go Pokemon Sword Art Online? And somehow that got 1,000 notes. Like, that is the only time something I have ever made got 1,000 notes on Tumblr. And that, like, I still do not know what I was doing. Like, I just made, like, a very dumb shitpost based on my knowledge, based on Pokemon, and an anime I'm never going to see. But I know the vague concept of. I wish that had happened in 2016.
Yeah,
We had
if
all
only.
sucked into the Pokemon world.
Speaking of Pokemon, 2020 Pokemon Twilight Wings in the ONA, she voiced Sonia. 2021 Cells at Work Code Black, she voiced Neurophilic White Blood Cell. She voiced Misa in one of the episodes of Star Wars Visions in 2021, and her most recent and obviously notable role for this show in 2022 is Miorine Rembrandt in Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. Thank you, Lynn, for your hard work.
Thank you.
And that'll about do it for us today. So now it's time to wind down and do some plugs.
Okay. You can find me on Tumblr at DestroyScytheHeck or on Twitter at FullFringle. It's like full frontal, but it's spelled like Pringle. I made a typo once and it was very funny. And yeah, like I kind of have put a couple of my projects on pause for the moment. Like I've been having like some computer troubles and I can't really get moving forward on Summit. So I guess I'm going to just plug somebody else's and look at the Dojin Group gunship scene. Like it's very cool. Like they just did their Halloween release. Like that is very cool.
Good. All right. And I'm Max. You can go to Max Bajillion on Twitter to follow me. You can go to Twitter at Pod of Greed Cast to listen to my Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. You can go to Twitter at SlappersOnlyPod to listen to my video game music podcast. You can go to Twitter at WowCoolPodcast to find this show and Discord links. You can go to Noisepace.xyz to find this show and many, many more, all on the same wonderful podcast network. Best to ever fucking do it. And Phoenix, what is your robot of the week?
Robot Dracula. I'm not
Fuck
sure.
yeah, that's badass.
I'm not sure if that probably actually exists somewhere. I do not have a specific media example, but Robot Dracula probably exists, and he will come, and he will rule the world.
Yeah, I see some, like, unlicensed Transformers-looking guy here.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween! And as we always say to close the episode, war is bad.
Let's go, lesbians!